In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use code generation to fill out the simpler details of a class. So let's get started. We'll start a new project. We're going to call it CodeGen for code generator or code generation. Now we're going to create a new class, same name, CodeGen. So we're going to start out by creating a class name. It will have two fields, first and last, which is good enough just to get us started. So now, to generate code for this class, we'll put our cursor up in the class definition someplace, come over to the source menu, and scroll down to where it says Generate Constructor Using Fields. We'll start with the constructors. So we're going to click that selection. Here it asks us which fields we want. We want to select them all, so we click Select All and click OK. And notice that right here, it created our class. Now, it also created a call to the superclass object. We can take that out because we're not going to use that. So here's our constructor. Let's create another constructor. This time let's do a last name only constructor. So we'll come back down to Generate Constructor Using Fields. This time we're going to select last, then click OK. And where we have called a super, we'll put our own code in and say this dot first equals empty string to initialize the first field. So there are two constructors. Let's move on and generate some more code. This time let's generate getters and setters. So we want to generate getters and setters for both fields. So we'll select them, then click OK. So here we have a get first and a set first, a get last and a set last, along with our constructors. And there's the whole class definition. Let's do one more. Let's generate a toString method. So we want to select only the fields. So we'll click OK. And there's our toString. And notice the format it used. It lists the name of the class, followed by an open square bracket, and then our first field equals, comma, and then our last field equals, and then a place for the data. So let's move down to our code. We'll erase that comment. And let's just create one object and we'll play around with it a little bit. Now let's try one of the setters. Let's copy and paste our call to toString, like so. And let's try one of the setters. And then just for fun, let's print the name using the getters. Like so. Take a look at our code. Don't see any errors, so let's run it. So we had first equals Jane, last equals Smith. Then we changed the first name to Barbara. Then we have Barbara Smith without a space, as in our last systemout.println statement. So as you can see, it's very simple to generate definitions for lots of class methods using the code generation tool. Now, of course, you can't use it to do all of your class definition, but for these simple things like constructors, getters, setters, and toString, the code generation tool works exceptionally well. So that wraps up this lesson on code generation. And now we're going to move to the last lesson for this chapter, where we're going to talk about debugging using Eclipse.